This tutorial will demonstrate how to calculate confidence intervals using SPSS. Confidence intervals are basic form of generalizations from a sample to a population. So a confidence interval essentially calculates the range of population parameters on population level, and it uses the information from sample as evidence. Now this file is empty, but I'm going to use the A concepts data file which we usually use. So I'll select open, Excel, and I believe it's on my desktop. Here it is. And I will select the date and the spreadsheet which actually contains the data, none of the others, only the one which contains the data. The data is entered. Here we can see it, and these are the variables. I do not have this type of import leaves the labels empty. These labels have to be entered manually or using the copy-paste function which we discussed before. I'm not going to enter the labels, but you should already be familiar with the names of some of those variables. So let's calculate the confidence intervals. Before I proceed further, I should clarify that SPSS can calculate confidence intervals only for metric variables. SPSS cannot calculate confidence intervals for proportions. There is a way around it, but it involves recoding variables, which we are not going to discuss in this tutorial. So again, SPSS calculates confidence intervals only for metric variables, in other words, for averages. A variable which is metric in our case is reside, which corresponds to the number of people living in household. So to calculate the confidence interval for this variable, we go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and then we click Explore. And this dialog does much more than just calculating confidence interval, but the confidence interval is what we are looking for. So we select reside, which is the name of the variable corresponding to number of people in household. Select it, and we can choose a variety of options here which we don't care about at this point, and just click OK. SPSS calculates a few things, generates different tables, and many of those could be removed from the output, but most importantly here is the range of the confidence interval. So in the 95% confidence interval, the range is 2.12 to 2.30. Although SPSS cannot calculate confidence intervals for proportions, you can change the confidence level, which is an advantage of SPSS compared to the Excel data analyst. So under options, actually it is under statistics, confidence intervals, I can decide to calculate confidence intervals with 99% confidence level. And when I click OK, I see that this is the confidence intervals which for 99% confidence level, and the width of the confidence interval increased as expected because the corresponding z-value to 99% increased from 1.96 to 2.58. If we want to calculate another confidence interval, let's examine another variable. And I know that electric probability, this variable corresponds to the probability of purchasing a standard size electric auto within 3 years. It is a metric variable which measures probability. Now, when I double click here on the number 35 for this variable, Okay, actually it takes me to its data, and I see that indeed these are probabilities ranging from 0 to 100%. So to calculate the confidence interval for this car, for this probability, we again go to descriptive, explore, select electric probability, and I click OK. And this is the 99% confidence interval for that probability, because I did not change it back to 95. And the 99% confidence interval for the probability to purchase an electric auto within standard size electric auto within 3 years ranges between 32.84 to 36.44%. I can change the confidence level back to 95% easily. Go back to statistic, just type 95. Okay. And by the way, I can remove some of the plots, stem and leaf, for example, and the box plot. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. And because I want to minimize the output, that's why. And now I see that the confidence interval shrinked a little bit because I decreased the confidence level from 99 to 95%. And this is how we calculate confidence intervals for metric variables using SPSS.